Ordinarily, if somebody says to you, I think you're an absolute idiot, we do move. We take offense and we get agitated. But if you say to a psychiatrist, an excellent psychiatrist, I think you're an idiot, he will say, that's very interesting now. And let's pursue that, right? Because there's a training of the mind and the heart not to take personal offense, i.e. to be unmoved. It doesn't mean that the psychiatrist is not listening to the patient. Psychiatrist, if it's a good psychiatrist, will absolutely listen to the patient, but is unmoved by what is presented. Now that takes a great strength of mind and heart, to be unmoved by the moving. And that's the way to do it. So, again, this is not at the level of information, but it's not possible to put yourself in a world where people do not give offense. As I said, they don't make really worlds like that anymore. So there are many, many, many people who give offense, and you have no control over that, but you have absolute control over whether you take offense. Totally and completely. So it's possible to be surrounded by a whole bunch of offensive people and to be completely free of offense. It's possible to be surrounded by all sorts of advertising campaigns and saying you should buy this and you need to be slimmer or taller or younger or whatever, and not to be affected by it. So in religious terms, it would be being in the world but not of the world. And that is possible. It doesn't turn you into a cold-hearted, isolated, zombie-like creature. It just means that you transcend the peripheral and the trivial. So, for example, if, again, in the emotional world, say you're dating somebody and in your mind they're all right. Love is not exactly flowing in its full, like torrents of love. They're all right. Well, when you're on a date and he or she is all right, then the restaurant becomes more important, and the food, and whether it rains or not, or whether the car starts, and everything becomes very, very important. But when you love, none of this makes any difference at all. So if you take a classic example of love, the love for the newborn child, you don't look at it and say, oh, for God's sake, I was hoping for a blonde. And look, it's got the wife's nose. This is ridiculous. There's going to be plastic surgery in 16 years' time. It's not like that. What happens is when love fills your heart, then nothing matters. You could have Quasimodo born to you, with one eye in the center of its forehead, and you still think, aren't I blessed? So the idea is, if you pitch your mind here, you will be influenced by everything that the world throws at you. But if you pitch it here, then it just flows past you, and you're unaffected. But you're not isolated from it. You're fully informed, but not affected. The Shankaracharya uses this example. He says, when a patient goes to a doctor, when a patient goes to a doctor, they tell the doctor all about the pain. Now, the patient is informed about the pain and experiences the pain. The doctor, at the end of the conversation, is fully informed about the pain, but doesn't experience it. Does that make sense? And the key to life is to be fully informed, but not moved hither and thither. And that is possible. You'll either do it through reason, or you'll do it through love. And we use the example of, say, the love of a child, or love of wife, or love of husband. You'll find you don't mind if they get old. None of these things matter at all, because love is operating at a different level. It also will work with reason. So sometimes, you find yourself in a very heavy traffic jam, and you get absolutely irritated, and then reason enters the mind, and it tells you, well, this irritation is not going to move the traffic one jot. And suddenly you're free of the irritation of a traffic jam. So reason or love will get you to a higher level where you're not affected at all. In fact, you become a free man or woman. You have transcended while fully participating.